Mine's at 10.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's hope for you it doesn't go to game 7.
I would need one of you to hit this button and hold it down.
I will mute Tsunami forever as he moves around. Yep, so this will be a little bit of a switcheroo. It's been a long time since... Have you either of you ever done a TriCast, actually?
I have not play-by-play casted in 2.5 years, so forget the TriCast aspect. Oh my god, why are they fighting already? Wraithfire Blast onto Saberlight. And yeah, did we talk about... So Jerax, nothing surprising with who's playing what?
No, it's pretty straightforward. It was Nightfall ending up on the Timbersaw, of course, so I mean, it was to be expected, but it would have been really funny if they did the other thing. It's a little bit of a throwback, but they're going to stick to their roles and to their guns. And yeah, curious to see how this one is going to play out with the lanes. I do like, overall, what EG are bringing to the table with the Timbersaw pick. And I'm curious, so something TSM have done a good job at in this tournament is adjusting lanes. Wonder what they're going to choose to lane against him. You definitely don't want Beastmaster to play that lane if possible. Maybe it's just going to be standard Morph Treant or Morph Shaman. Maybe Tri-Lane? Can you Tri-Lane the Timber in the beginning and shut down, perhaps?
That's what I'm... Because last time we saw Shaman, I think it was put into a Tri-Lane. Granted, the reason we're seeing it here is because, as Effie mentioned, Hex against Storm Spirit, primary reason.
3 runes for EG here. I think that's the first game of the finals that one team gets 3 runes. Every other game, I think, has been an even split. So a slight advantage EG to begin with.
Effie, you're not getting into the spirit of the TriCast. Please TriCast with us.
I'm TriCasting with you.
Perfect.
How are you guys doing? How is everybody?
Lovely. Thanks for asking.
Sorry, I did the thing where I zoned out completely and I forgot where I was for a good 2 minutes.
I wish Sunsfan would do that more often.
Doesn't he, though?
Mid lane, it's going to be Bryle versus Abed, Queen of Pain versus Storm Spirit. And again, I have typically given Abed the advantage. Bryle, I think, as of this series, probably the superior mid laner, if that's a hot take.
Yeah, overall, I would say he's slightly outplayed Abed across the games, but it hasn't been very one-sided by any means.
But as far as hero matchups go, I mean, this is definitely Queen of Pain favored, right? So we can't even say complete outplay here.
And side lane, no commitments to any tri-lanes. It's going to be Wraith King and Jerax on the Ogre versus Moon Meander, Shadow Shaman, and Saberlight on the Beastmaster.
Shaman, one of the better supports at fighting Ogre head-on, actually. You have a very high-damage single-target nuke that ignores the armor, and then you have some of the best right-click damage in the game. So actually, one of the only heroes that Ogre can... if you put the 2 heroes next to each other and they just hit each other and cast their spells, Ogre might win, but it's by very little. So definitely see Moon Meander take full advantage of the power he has in the beginning.
It's that and the Weaver. You guys always talk about how... Oh, actually, no, it was the other way around. Ogre can stand up.
Ogre can stand up.
So the rock, paper, scissors continues to evolve.
Yeah, and we're talking about 76 base damage at level 1.
Ranged Treant Protector.
2 Iron Branches.
Shaman has the highest base damage in the game, apart from Treant, I think, actually.
Pretty ridiculous. And even a hero like Ogre with 7 armor really feels the pain.
What was, we didn't get too much of a chance to discuss the merits of Treant Protector in this draft. If you guys could illuminate, perhaps.
So remember at the time that it was picked before Timber, what I think TSM were going for was they want to be able to defend their own towers and group up so that they can mitigate split push while enforcing 5-man, because against IO Storm Ogre, that play style I think is very powerful to be able to just team fight. So that was the primary thing about it, honestly, is living armor, which is, for the most part, it is the primary reason you picked Treant to begin with.
That's what I thought, but I've been seeing a lot of popularization of Max Leech Seed, but I guess that's dependent on your lane partner.
That actually happened so often during Division 1 Europe.
Right.
They were just going for this Leech Seed brawling build, and I do think it works out sometimes if you're looking to get the kills on the lane, right? But I think the living armor build is overall safer. Because if you do lose that lane, you're kind of stuck with useless abilities as a Treant Protector.
Yeah, and if the primary goal is to keep your objectives alive, then living armor is going to be ideal. And maybe enabling Bryle aggression in the mid lane, where Abed's ticking to this Shadow Strike, but he bottles up in between and he's got a Fairy Fire as well. But still, neck and neck CS.
He's going to grab the 3-minute bounty as well, so he will refill a decent amount, and then he's going to go back to the lane for 1 wave and then get a 4-minute water rune. Isn't it just wonderful how many runes you can get in mid nowadays? What an absolute treat.
Definitely not dripping with sarcasm there. I can't believe I'm watching an Ogre be afraid of right clicks.
Yeah, it's quite something. And it's not Jarek's misplaying. This matchup is just hard, actually.
Dude, he's getting bullied.
Yep.
Ogres don't get bullied.
Speaking of bullied,
Speaking of bullied, Timber saw hard counter pick to Dubu Tree and Protector.
Yeah, I wonder if Crit at some point is going to go for a rotation here, because at level 3, Timber can solo this lane no problem. I guess by staying here on Io, they put a lot more pressure on the Morph, though, rather than just ensuring Nightfall. But I could see a world where TPing top to help Ogre and Wraith King win that lane could be pretty impactful.
when we're looking at this overall game plan for the Train Protector, I actually wonder what kind of itemization Dubu is going to go for. If he's going to go for some kind of Holy Locket or even a way to aggressively position himself.
Maybe
so that
Yule?
he can get the root off on Storm and Io.
Yeah. Oh, this is some really good pressure. Arteezy!
Wow. I can't believe it. They get the kill. 2 boars and a little bit of ether shocking. The man is shocked, as you saw. First blood.
Just as shocked as we are.
Ayo. Now you're getting in the spirit of the TriCast.
Here-
Oh, I
here
thought-
am.
Sin,
thought-
could I get a charity giggle, please?
No, I thought you were going to sing the song again because she's shocked and it's electricity. There you go.
Electricity.
Thank you very much.
God, Patrick is smiling.
I've been waiting all night for you to sing that song, Tsunami. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, I'll treat you to more concerts later on. Nightfall has been left alone as the 2 teams rotate as nighttime hits.
Wait, can you actually sing that song again? I feel like it's been so long since I last heard it.
You know, anytime I prompt you to say something, you emphatically say no, and so I'm not gonna be your dancing monkey for this.
Because I'm not as performative as you.
Electricity. Yeah,
Thank you.
exactly.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Beastmaster is crushing this lane, by the way. 33 and 9, and plus that first blood as well. Electricity. Oh, those are the correct syllables.
Yep. Spelled it correctly as well.
Yeah, both the supports just pieced out. Everyone went mid. Crit's hanging out, and
Brial level
Dubu.
6 is going to get help from Dubu here. They really want to kill Abed before 6 if possible. Crit is lingering.
Abed's still half a level away, also.
Crit sitting on how many stick charges? 0. So only has the Fairy Fire for a burst heal if they do decide to attempt Abed here. Ogre also making his way over for double coverage, and yeah, they're just going to do this. But
They glyph the wave. They really don't want to let him get this
it's a
experience.
regen for Brial, though. He's going to
Yeah.
be very happy with that. And Moon Meander now also making his way over.
Is he happy with the regen, or would he have preferred like a DD so he can actually kill this guy? He's sticking around, and off this range creep, no, still no level 6.
You can be happy with something without it being the absolute best.
But
It's like saying, would you be happy to get a chocolate bar? No, because I could have had a gold bar. It's
So-
like, yeah, but I'm happy with a chocolate bar.
there's this great Calvin and Hobbes comic as we see Abed potentially get the kill on
I know which one
Dubu.
you're going to reference.
Yeah,
I
know.
love that comic so much.
There's Calvin's mom is like, Calvin, life could be a lot worse, you know? And Calvin's like, yeah, but it could also be a lot better too. That's how I feel about regen.
That wasn't the one I thought you were
Oh,
going to go for.
which
There's
one?
one where Calvin and Hobbes are discussing if you could wish for anything, what would you wish for?
Okay.
And Calvin's like, that's a stupid question. I would wish for $1 billion. And then Hobbes is like, I would wish for a tuna sandwich.
Oh, yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, that's so stupid. A tuna sandwich that's worth nothing. And then later in the kitchen, he's like, yay, my wish came true.
That's actually a really nice message.
God,
right.
I love that comic so much. I grew up with that. It's my favorite.
Shout outs
Time.
to Bill
Super
Watterson.
good.
What
Yeah.
what do you guys wish for in this Dota game?
A patch.
In this,
This
Dota,
Dota
game.
game.
A time machine.
Completely unbiased. I need to get on my
Realistically.
plane, and so I kind of need EG to win this game. But, you know, I love Dota. I love 5-game series. Nightfall shows up top. And
Uh-oh.
another attempt, but Brian
fine.
blinks out.
Cool.
What would you wish for, Effie?
In this Dota game.
Yeah. Oh, you posed the question
You
as
asked
if
the
you had
question,
your
I'm
own
assuming.
Yeah,
answer.
because
Yeah.
I was curious if you had your own answers. 'Cause
I came up
the
with them.
only wish that I have is top quality Dota.
Wow.
Oh.
Hey, we've been getting that all day.
Yeah.
so-
Yeah, maybe like Calvin and Hobbes, your wish will come true and Tsunami will not get his flight. So
It can be a high quality win for me, too. You never know.
Oh man, imagine if we're just here forever.
Please don't put that out in the
now
universe.
again, there could be worse or better. So, you know.
Wow, I'm learning life philosophies here, but I swear to God, I really need to go home. Abed shows up down bot, and the smoke attempt does not net them any kills, nor does it net a tower. So TSM FTX kind of running around aimlessly, but at least Tomato's getting space. Hex and the waveform, but not in range, or perhaps does not
shackle.
have shackles. Yeah.
I just want to throw it out that I really like the temporary swap that Saberlight and Dubu did just now. Saberlight gave up his lane even though he had his helm creep and the lane was empty to Dubu to finally get some much needed golden levels up. Because he was struggling a lot versus that Timbersaw, but finally he got level 5 up here, 20 gold away from his boots.
And he is indeed maxing out that living armor.
Support lives matter.
Though, I mean, for all this living armor talk, there has been minimal pressure by EG, which, given their lineup, isn't too surprising, but I imagine that Abed on this Storm is starting to get itchy and wants to do something, because Tomato has successfully pushed down the bot tier 1 tower, and he's so far up.
He got it minute 9.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
What is this man doing here?
It's kind of surprising that EG didn't mount more of a defense there, seeing they have Timber, but yeah, they let him have it. Shadow Shaman will get level 6 in a minute as well, assuming that he gets the tone to fly out to him and lets Dubu find 6 in mid. Bit of pressure here with Io Storm, but not too much.
I think for now they're just content to maximize the farm they're getting out of their Storm Spirit because Abed has another Orchid queued up, so it looks like that's just the one big item that they're going to play for, right? The difference between this game and the last game is we do have crit on Io instead of something like a Tuskar or a Tiny or a Snapfire, so there isn't that hero on their team that can make the moves with the Storm right now. So you just farm up as much as you can. Crit's been stacking the small camp, some of the triangle. Hopefully with that Orchid you can start looking towards more aggressive map movements. But
Yeah.
for now it's just farm fest for both teams.
As Timbersaw is your offlaner, you really don't have too much independent playmaking potential against heroes like Morphling, who can waveform, and Quap, who can blink. Really, it's just the Beastmaster that you could bully, and Saberlight's doing a good job at hanging out in his triangle.
I think a lot of people have been hanging out in the triangle.
That's another thing that might change in the patch. Yo, let me get a quick question. Okay, Sin, is Roche Pit gonna move?
Not in this game.
Good answer, Synderen.
I thought we were still talking about that. Sorry, I zoned out for 4 minutes like Effie did.
Well, that's twice the time that Effie did.
So,
I feel
is Roche Pit gonna move? I'm not sure if it's necessary.
It's looking pretty still right now.
I think it depends. So if you are going to make terrain changes in Dota, you don't necessarily need to move the pit. Like, I think we would agree that it's slightly Radiant favored right now, probably,
Correct,
right,
yeah.
with the placement. But if you change the terrain around it so that the terrain inherently favored Dire a bit more, then
Okay.
that might be a way of keeping it in the place that it is.
So same location with different walls or trees.
Yeah, different pathways is another way of going about it.
Dude, what if 2 entrances to the Roche Pit? One on the Radiant side, one on the Dire side. And not in the front. Oh, Abed connecting on Dubu. And a lot of damage coming out of that Timbersaw.
Nice and easy kill. Pretty inconsequential though. There was no real pressure being put there, and on the flip side, however, TSM and mid are very busy.
Yep, Serpent Ward's
Tower.
placed and a Sonic Wave just for poor old Ogre, but at least the Serpent Wards are getting some damage. That's such satisfaction as a Shaman player. You get the kill and free tower damage.
Yep, and the tower itself.
Feels good.
A lot of gold for Moon here.
So, Arteezy actually just bought phase boots on Wraith King, which isn't something that we see very often. But if you're thinking about Bloodlust and Overcharge, you can get that extra bit of armor and damage pretty much scot-free. So it is nice to see the IO being taken advantage of here by his team.
Yeah, that's a good recalibration. And are we anticipating that this is going to be the usual active Desolator Wraith King that we've been seeing previously, or?
Yeah, probably. I don't think there's a much better build here. You want to have that hard-hitting hero to follow up on Storm, or set up Storm, whether you go, whoever goes first if you have the dagger. I think just sticking to your guns with the build you've run so far is just the way to go.
The one reason that I've always been skeptical of it, which is again present in this game, is that no one else is really dealing physical damage. It's just him. So is the corruption on Deso value just for that one massive crit at the beginning?
It's really good for himself, right?
Yeah.
It's not just for the one crit, it's every consecutive hit.
Right.
And if you're fortunate enough to find, like, say, a Brigand's Blade, then that's also going to help ramp up your damage quite significantly. So, like, you could look at Deso from the perspective of, yeah, you're the only one who benefits, but the other thing is, okay, if I'm our only physical damage and I need to take that role, what's the most bang for my buck, right? And that's still going to be Deso just for yourself. On a hero that has a built-in crit, just flat damage and minus armor will always trump anything else he can buy. There's no better... I think it might be the single most cost-efficient item for Wraith King aside from Rapier in terms of damage per gold. So,
Makes sense. Nope. Hawk spots out crit.
he's toast.
They don't need to use anything. Nothing to tether to. Crit's left all alone. Meanwhile, there was a little bit of damage issued onto the mid-tier 1, but, you know, Treant Protector, he's been itching for that. He's like, dude, finally I get the living armor, a tower. Effie,
What's up?
please participate in the conversation.
Sorry, I'm really sorry.
Sorry, I zoned out.
I didn't zone out. Maybe I'm listening to your very engaging conversation.
Oh yeah, what did I just
This
say?
is a very special
Oh, yeah,
moment.
again.
What did I talk about?
You talked about
Yeah, that's what I
Desolator.
thought, yeah.
You talked about Desolator.
That was a whole conversation ago. That's what Sind was talking
You were
about.
just talking about the cost efficiency of Desolator on Wraith King. And Syndron had an amazing line. Aside from Rapier, Desolator is the single most cost
Yeah, that was my takeaway
efficient
too.
damage item.
I was like, if I'm in a game, my quick buy is either gonna be Rapier or Desolator in this situation.
But yeah, I mean, so far everyone's just farming really. Tomato's actually building his Manta style is pretty close. He's probably only one component off. He's got his ultimate orb done and he's got his Manta recipe. So the threat of this Orchid coming up from the storm is going to be a lot less spooky.
I guess he will be able to bully the supports, but even the supports are doing a good job at just keeping busy in the jungle. So, boy, is this what play-by-play casting's always like, Sind? Because, like, kind of a...
Do it all the time.
I mean, why do you think him and Sunspan are always flaming each other?
Because he's a robot.
Keeps things fun.
There's-
5 kills, minute 15. Though, can we just quickly talk about just how few kills this has been for the day, right? Like sometimes you have in different regions, you have like slower games or slower starts or whatever. Every game today has kind of followed the same pattern with a lot of fighting across the map, rotations from the mid laners, high activity plays.
Ideally
This is
defending towers, and now EG's letting a
exceptionally
third tier
calm.
1 go away.
Yeah.
They get an overgrowth and the Orchid reveal onto the Timbersaw, but he is very tanky with this hood. Gets roared up and the Sonic
okay.
Wave. The whole kitchen sink tossed in.
Well, that'll do it. If you use literally 3 ults, Timbersaw is a killable hero. And IO actually went for the relocate, so they did need that Sonic Wave burst to prevent Crit from saving him.
That's true.
Crit's gonna arrive immediately into Hex and just get blown up. So, nice double kill for Bryle. Level 12.
Here, Roshan, they go.
Ooh, they don't have the Serpent Wards, though, because they use that up top, but I guess...
Morph Beast is very good at killing Roche. You give Morph attack speed.
Yeah.
He has insane benefits from this attack speed with the high damage he gets from morphing into agility, and Beastmaster naturally can tank this with his dominated creep. So this pairing of heroes, very, very good at killing Roche. Is there a medallion in play here even? I don't think there is. It's just the Vlads. And no problem. This will go the way of Tomato.
Effie, you keep talking about this Storm Orchid timing, but I'm looking at this. Morphling has Manta completed and an Aegis. Queen of Pain already completed her Orchid. What the hell is the Storm Orchid gonna do?
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Now, obviously, you can still look for plays on the side lane, right? You can try to split them up. Don't play into their 5-man as Storm Spirit. That's something you never want to do. But this item has definitely been reduced to a much less valuable item. So by nature of how slow the game went, I think TSM were very efficient in how they distributed their heroes across the map, right? You didn't even have Beastmaster forcing down these towers unnecessarily. He was content to just retreat to the triangle or the jungle, slowly wait for his opportunities, give as much of the map as he can to his supports even.
Yeah, everyone took their own tower. Shaman took the top tower, Morphling took the bot tower, and the Queen of Pain took the mid tower.
Now EG's going to take mid tower with no defense from TSM. Nobody wants to fight, apparently. So,
Yeah, with their Aegis.
yeah, they're still just letting it go. I
This,
feel like this is too unfavorable of a position with EG smoking and then placing vision.
this has to be a testament, right, to how badly both of these teams want to win. They're not willing to
Yeah.
take any unnecessary risks, and the game has slowed down in a way that has been unprecedented this entire tournament.
I imagine that part of the reason that they didn't defend that tier 1 was because of the smoke that we saw Abed off the map, and they don't really want to get picked off from some random angle, so figured we don't really need the mid tier 1. We already took theirs. Although Dubu's crying about it. Anytime I'm a Treant Protector, my team's like, we don't need to defend this tower. I'm like, what are you talking about? What did I max this spell for?
Why am I in the game?
What am I doing here?
Tomato's going to find Jarex here, perhaps. Yep. Orchid. He's toast.
Clean kill.
Oh, I'm sorry, were you two the play-by-play casters?
Yep.
Another... Bro, is anyone going to defend any towers in this game?
Well, Jarex wanted to, and he regretted it, so I guess we're just not.
That's very true. He also just showed his team what happens if you defend towers and your team is not ready, right? And that is probably why they didn't go for that mid tower. But this is really good for TSM. They can take the outpost now. They still have their Aegis. They can just park themselves in this part of the map if they want to. They don't give Storm any kind of leeway to take any kills unnecessarily.
Triple
We got the
TP.
Power
Fight here.
Rangers coming down here. Arteezy gets hexed up immediately. Turned on his armlet though, so he's a little bit tankier, but it's not going to be enough. His courier dies, and
Relocate though?
yeah, they go in. They bring in the Storm Spirit, but the Roar response crit is going to go down. They leave Arteezy to his own devices, and Abed, meanwhile, takes down the Shaman, making more moves onto Nightfall. He goes in, cuts through. Saberlight goes down. Sonic Wave clips Abed, and now Nightfall, last man standing on the run, ticks down to the Shadow Strike. And 3 go down for EG, and only an offlaner and support die for TSM.
That was such a clutch overgrowth by Duvu. He was just sitting uphill waiting for Storm to just present himself and then cast that spell. He didn't put himself in harm's way anytime before. Really well played by him.
Yeah, and yet again, like, anytime EG gets into combat, it doesn't seem like their advantages are providing too much. Although they did save Arteezy, so one benefit of that fight.
And that's worth keeping in mind about this fight, right? It's effectively a 3-on-5 almost.
Yeah.
Because Arteezy gets bullied out in the start. He does tank some spells, so it's not completely fair to call it 3v5, but now Arteezy's going to disengage and never come back into the fight after this Moon kill. You're bringing in Timbersaw after IO is dead and Ogre is in his base. So this is effectively Timber and Storm against 4 right now with Shaman dead, and with that overgrowth that only ends like this. So nice punish there from TSM to, you know, maybe get more than they could have expected. All right, see you later.
Zoop.
Tsunado's getting so close to Scotty too. Once they hit
Whoa,
Scotty,
big leap. Orchid onto the Queen of Pain, but instant hex back. Serpent wards go down. Queen of Pain still silenced, but oh, she dies. 6x streak, goes to the Timbersaw, and now Arteezy happy to crit down. Still has reincarnation, but the rest of his team is dead. Abed's dead.
How did Storm die?
Yeah, that's
Was that just a burst from Morph out of nowhere in... They didn't roar, they didn't overgrowth, I think?
he got insta-hexed by a Shaman, and he got trapped in
The Serpent Wards?
and then he just got
Was he out of mana? Because I
got
don't...
burst on by Timber.
Was there... Oh, Morph
He's
turn
his
didn't...
Timber. I'm so tired.
Oh, did he... I'm trying to remember, because was Moon shackling there? Okay, we're going to get a replay. Perfect.
okay. So in comes Storm.
So really quick hex here from Moon, very nicely done, and then drops the Serpent Wards.
Into shock.
What
Spirit.
where does
happens
the damage
now?
come from? Does he get roared?
He's silenced.
Wait for it. Oh,
There's the burst. He got stunned by...
Tomato just went to town, and I don't think Storm was expecting it.
There was also the burn damage from Bryle's Orchid.
Yeah, okay.
That was actually a pretty good chunk of damage coming out, because I think he got silenced at the very beginning too.
It all makes sense.
It all makes sense now. And yeah, Scotty, completed by Tomato. He's flying his courier to the secret shop, gonna get the point booster, and all of a sudden IO's healing is going to be a lot less useful.
I like this on-the-fly item build. He got the Manta, took care of the Orchid threat, and now I guess the only thing he really needs to worry about is killing the Wraith King off, or kiting him.
Really textbook so far.
Relocates to kill the dragon.
Who's gonna get the gold? Yay, 250.
250 for Tady.
Feels good.
That's a good nickname.
Our titty.
That's the one. Don't wear it out.
Electricity.
Oh,
Jax, you're in trouble.
it's a long TP though. Tomato is waiting. Bang.
Wait, what is that? What is that shackle?
It's the Crimson Witness version of the
Wait,
Immortal.
it looks like
Polywog Priest?
I guess I've never seen it before because nobody picks Shaman anymore. But it looks like a Spider-Man shooting his webs out, but if they were red, right? Look, it's like a single
Does
string.
Spider-Man also shoot his webs out of his mouth?
Yeah.
No, but that doesn't matter.
Maybe Spider-Man is different in Jordan. It's not the one I saw.
I've seen Italian Spider-Man. I haven't seen Jordanian Spider-Man
Have you seen Japanese Spider-Man?
I have actually seen Japanese Spider-Man also.
Wait, have you actually seen Japanese Spider-Man?
Yeah.
It's so good.
So over the top, but most of the Japanese media is, and that's why I love it.
Let me pose a question to you.
Pose away.
When you think of Spider-Man, do you think he needs a gun?
Obviously. Not.
Japan says no.
That's a pretty major spoiler, Effie. Please, I was going to go back and watch it. I watch all movies.
Is that the sequel to No Way Home?
Actually, Japanese Spider-Man is a series.
No fire.
Uh-oh.
No concealed.
Uh-oh,
carry
yes, no
license.
Aegis.
Whoa, that is a huge sonic wave, but not enough to save Tomato.
Okay, he was not expecting this whatsoever. EG were getting a really good positioning and angle there.
Bro, from now on, we're just not
full
giving
burst.
TSM Aegises.
I thought you were going to say from now we're not going to talk about Japanese Spider-Man anymore. And I do agree.
I'm inclined to disagree. BKB activated by Briley. He's going to evacuate the premises, but Ignite catches onto Saberlight.
Speaking
Chakram.
of Japanese Spider-Man, there's
Oh my
Timbersaw.
god, give him a gun, please! How is he gonna defend himself?
The real Japanese Spider-Man here is Timbersaw with his Timber Chain.
Timbersaw with E-Blade
I don't see a
for the shotgun.
Oh,
Bang, bang.
Spider-Man.
So I think we can conclude that Nightfall does know how to play Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not surprising. This is a hero you need to know as an offlane player. So, you'd imagine he's been training the meta picks, even if it's not his, historically most played role. Was of course the carry player for VP last season. But in the transition to offlane, you learn to play Timber. I think for carry players, this has to be one of the most satisfying offlaners to play,
Oh my
right?
God,
'Cause
yeah.
you get so much farm and you get to do so much damage and really be the center part. Like sometimes you're the centerpiece of the draft as offlaner with this hero. So I think a lot of carry players will really enjoy this when they switch over. Similar to like Nature's Prophet as well, right? You're just like farming the whole map, getting super huge, getting a lot of items.
Well, with Timbersaw, I feel it's especially fun because you've been on the receiving end of Timbersaw abuse
Exactly.
so many times
Yeah.
as a carry.
That's true.
what I was gonna say, and it's not just, oh, okay, I'm dishing out the pain that I've lived through myself. It's more so, I understand how many carries get so exploited by this Timbersaw and which carries that he can bully to best of his ability, right? Because he's been through it all. So he knows just how to push the hero's limits on lane too, I'm sure.
Attempted move onto Storm Spirit, but the smoke breaks and Braille doesn't make a move on it.
Hey, speaking of Scotties, we're seeing a Scotty Wraith King in action too.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Is that typical?
Because you're playing against
Gotta get more.
Morphling, you have to get some kind of way to kill him, right? And Wraith King is a hero that doesn't have high attack speed, so he suffers when he builds items like Phase Boots and Scotty, but he is playing with Bloodlust and Io.
Right.
So it shouldn't be that much of an issue, right? He should still be able to maximize his DPS even without attack speed items.
The one
I
thing
really like the choice here.
that I was edging towards is, will he not need some sort of way to get out of Overgrowth? Like, no one's building a Lotus on his team. He does. Oh, never mind. I changed my mind.
I have a
Timbersaw-
Lotus on Timber.
Yeah, you just finished it. You think you're so smart.
Not really.
So.
I just think you're dumb.
Ooh.
It's getting late, Tsunami. Please be quiet.
Dude, I can't even tell which hero's on what team. Seriously. I feel like I'm... I can tell you that Wraith King right now is walking top.
No, he's not. He's
This last
walking
sequence from EG though is very important. Like the kill on Tomato really took a lot of steam out of the game for TSM. And if this move is successful for EG as well, they're setting themselves up to be in a pretty commanding position.
Whoa,
with Roche
Bryle
about to
jumps
respawn.
in hella aggressive with his BKB, gets the instant kill onto Jerax, buyback immediately. We get a Vortex onto Saberlight, Overgrowth cancels any more follow-up, and he's gonna survive after the soul burn, but not after a few more right clicks. And Abed's still hungry for more, but blink out by
You have
Moonmeander.
just infinite mana when you have Arcane Rune and Io. What was that? Like,
Yeah.
you jumped like 17 times and he's half mana left.
I think Crit used Locket charges also.
Yeah, it's
So-
bizarre.
Roshan is spawning in 10 seconds. Actually, they just checked the pit and it wasn't there. I wonder if Jerax is just going to sit in the pit and see if it respawns, or they're just going to walk away. That's unfortunate. But that was the debut of Abed's 9-second BKB as well.
Speaking of Abed, he's actually kind of underleveled and underfarmed compared to what we've been used to seeing here. He's sitting on level 16, the enemy queen level 19. So 3 levels behind and 1,000 net worth. So a really big part of the levels on EG are sitting on Nightfall in this game. So a lot of responsibility for him to really get in and put that to good use with
That's-
level 3 ults.
Generally par for the course for Timbersaws though, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's normal for them to be 2.5 levels ahead of their mid.
Okay.
But like sometimes you are. But in this game, the scores on the heroes are similar, the CS are similar, but he's just found way more experience on the map.
Both teams have confirmed that Roche is up, but TSM FTX makes the first move into the pit. Nightfall policing it with the Chakram. And in migrates the rest of the team. They get the silence off after the Lotus Orb, and he's gonna die. Wow, okay, he's dead with no buyback. Tomato activates BKB, turn it into Timbersaw. That's not where you want it to go. He gets silence, gets his strength morph off, but he's gonna tank a lot of abuse. Stun from the Beastmaster onto the Wraith King will put a cork in it, and Tomato retreats, continues working on Roche. And I don't think EG can challenge it anymore.
Yeah, with this
Well,
Scotty...
JK. Oh,
Overgrowth.
baby, that's an overgrowth with the BKB. He snatched the Aegis anyway. Okay, now
so
what, big
hyped.
boy?
There was a little smirk there.
And he's dead. He blew it.
That's still really good though.
Yeah.
Getting rid of that Aegis, I think, is well worth it. And
Klopp got the shard, though. It's in
So-
her backpack.
that was a little bit disconnected from EG, right? I understand that Timbersaw wants to scout and try to get information, but I think maybe you could have got information there without dying, or at least coordinated a little bit better with Io being in range, because when Crit arrived to try to save the Timber, he was on 10%. It was just too late.
Also, Io doesn't have any kind of burst heal, right? He's only playing with a Soul Ring and a Holy Locket, and he's playing against the Scotty. So even when he did get to the Timber slot, it just wasn't enough heal.
Yeah, and he used those Locket charges, as we saw in the previous fight, to refill Storm's mana. So, nice Aegis. Actually, you know what? Given how the Aegises have gone for TSM FTX, I'm going to say Abed taking it away from them is an advantage for TSM.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Because
You
they
got the kill on him after.
Oh my god!
We were so happy with that. Whoa.
Turned that into a spray.
That could be
Face of a boss.
Twitch emote.
Abed W.
Yeah, Abed W,
Does that
actually.
look like a W?
It was a W.
Do you know what the best emote on Twitch is?
I should have a good answer for that one too. What was it?
Send Giga?
Syndicator.
Giga.
There you go.
Sin, do you have a name for your subs as Jerax does? Are they called Jeraxies? What?
Wait,
Are they
what?
actually?
No, they're not. What do you call your subs? Like your community? Cindy's?
Idiots.
But wait, Suns fan subscribes to you?
They chose subscribe to Gorg. What can I say? But they chose, you know, everybody's allowed to make a mistake once in a while.
Much as how Jerax did, as he's dead.
Fairies.
Fairies?
Godmothers. Because you're Cinderella. And they're your... Okay.
You should call them culprits. Didn't you say Cinderin is Danish for the culprit?
It is, actually.
So
yes.
yeah, call your sub community the culprits. Call your Discord the culprit. It's Discord. Criminal activity. You definitely won't get banned from
Well,
Discord.
it is called the Syndicate, but
Ooh, that's
what do
good.
you call the people in that?
Syndicators.
Syndicats. Wow, this is a really
Bro, how
useless
many-
conversation. You guys are worse than Suns fan. I can't believe I'm saying this. I never thought I would.
Handshakes all around. Effie, can I get a handshake? Handshakes all around. Cinderin, give me a handshake.
Achievement
Give me a
unlocked.
handshake. There we go.
Wow.
Chin chop or meow. Whoa,
Listen,
Shadowblade.
listen. It's hard.
Whoa!
It's hard to be more useful than Suns fan at what? What time is it? What
He's
time
such a resourceful person.
Clucks. He's got to
Oh,
use the Shadowblade
yep.
soon. He will. Wow.
No, not yet.
Nightfall. I know you're hiding there.
Wait, what was that a reference to?
He's got to use the phase shift soon. He will. Wow.
Are you going to complete Halberd here on Nightfall? So he disassembled his Kaya Sange to get Bloodstone. Is Halberd worth enough in this game, or do you just play with Casual Sange and get something else, is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, I don't know. You're the expert, Sint.
Maybe
So,
buy Shiva.
if
More
he's-
healing reduction against Morph, and you need the armor. Do you have Shiva on
Effie's
Storm?
the expert, Sint. Stop talking.
Oh, I mean, Cinderin, please keep talking.
Uh-oh.
I am.
I'll talk.
Syndicate member.
Hex up onto Abed. He activates BKB and he wants to turn this around. Crit pieces out. He says, you don't need me anymore. Instead, Shaman dies to the soul burn. Abed. Ooh, he's good.
Just
Meanwhile,
enough damage from the soul burn and just enough.
hashtag calculated. Nightfall. Ooh, that's a
Good
roar to
roar.
cancel out the Timber Chain. He will die. Oh man, and that was after he got his Bloodstone also. Homie wishing that he didn't complete that item.
Yeah. So just to reply, I think you do play with the Sange and you don't upgrade it. Halberd can be very good against Morphling here, especially because you are dying to the Scotty, but you're also dying to Roar and Sonic Wave and Shaman and Quap Burst, right? I think getting the Shiva's Guard will be very useful.
How about BKB?
Yeah, because like I'm seeing his Lotus Orb is not discouraging TSM FTX at all. They're like, I don't really care. I'll tank the return spell.
Has any other hero gotten roared this game, though, outside of the Timber spell?
How many roars have we seen?
Quite a few. I'd
Oh.
say 4 or 5.
Just, they're mainly using it for Timber, for sure.
Yeah, so maybe BKB. What's the point if you're Saberlight's public enemy number 1?
Ortiz might find an opening. here if he
Shadowblade?
wants. Jump away. Wasn't feeling it. I mean, that was also a very risky position. They don't have the best information here. They're man down. So I'm not going to take the risk.
I understand the Shadow Blade on Wraith King, right? You're going to build the Silver Edge, which just is probably one of the most cost-efficient damage items in this match
No,
as
I was
well.
told it was Desolator or Rapier. for
One
the-
of the most cost-efficient damage items, but it also
Okay,
gives you a way to maneuver yourself around the fight more so than with just a blink, right? You can also blink and potentially burst the Shaman and Shadow Blade away.
Radiant are scanning.
It just offers much more, I guess, maneuverability,
Yeah.
which is very valuable because you are playing against Queen of Pain.
Right now, it's looking like TSM has an advantage for one of the first times in this series. I feel like anytime we see TSM, it's usually them crawling it back. This time, they've kind of been in the driver's seat for the majority of this game.
Okay, so we actually didn't. So we were talking about how EG potentially need a Shiva's Guard, but we also didn't say that Train Protector has a Vessel and Queen of Pain has a Shiva's Guard on top of the Morphling Stadium. So they've just finished their heal reduction items far earlier than EG.
Also, Nightfall's plate mail just died. What was he doing with that? He had a plate mail and a courier.
Probably for the Shivas we were talking about.
Okay, this is quite an awkward angle.
They get the kill immediately onto the Train Protector. He has buyback, but he's not going to use it. Crit taking a lot of abuse, but they get the roar onto Wraith King. Everyone targets him immediately. Crit goes down. The Sonic Wave clips onto 2 and goes the reincarnation onto the Wraith King. He's kind of stuck in there, but he blinks out, immediately makes a move, gets the Silver Edge break onto the Morphling. Oh, Overgrowth buys time. He gets the haste rune out also, actually, and he just pieces out. They re-engage onto this, and a second life for Wraith King is about to get popped. Now there's a no-mana Timbersaw wondering, why am I forsaken by the rest of my team? And he will die. I can't believe Tomato lived.
Once more, what another clutch Overgrowth by Dubu. Standing on the cliff gets everybody right on a very AoE event.
Tips. Give him some tips.
So clean.
But I thought that they were attacking him, though. I definitely saw Dubu taking some damage. Oh, right. He died.
Yeah, because they have
definitely took
outpost, he
damage.
was able to rejoin the fight within like 10 seconds.
This is minimum 1 lane. It might be 2. It might even be game. If they knew all of these heroes didn't have buybacks, I guess maybe against Storm you still play it safe and don't try to end. But you are absolutely getting 1 lane here. Let's see if they're hungry for more.
Okay, well, he gets a pick off on the Shaman.
It's something.
The rack still goes down, though, and they're making their move to a second one, so no move on the tier 4s.
So I think they do have the knowledge that Abed's TP is on cooldown at the moment. 20 seconds left. He used his mana to kill the Shaman mid. He really can't make it back to base for this.
Yeah, he cuts the wave, and the top wave is kind of far back, so I guess they buy enough time for backdoor protection. And wow, that is a massive economical blow. 2 racks is down, 10k advantage for TSM FTX off of a very quick team fight.
That's the story of the day.
You seem preoccupied, Synderen. What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, it's a 10k gold lead for TSM, so what's next? Yeah, what's next?
New information. We are 1.
Okay.
Oh, impact move. I love me a good impact move. 20 seconds. I don't have that kind of time. Dubu dies. He's holding on to the buyback, buys back, starts TPing. Meanwhile, Roar comes out onto Arteezy. Everyone's like, let's go kill that guy. Oh, wait, why am I doing this? I already casted it once.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Impact, 7.
Wait for it.
6.
Why is it lagging?
It's so impactful.
It's coming.
The game can't handle it.
Hang on, hang on. There it is.
Whoosh.
Excellent 4-man Overgrowth. And Tomato gets out. They use this Overgrowth to reposition their
Io
other
bought
heroes.
back also. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Roar. Onto the Wraith King. I don't care. IDC Lotus Orb. He's dead once.
Yeah, there's no relocate ready, so Arteezy is pretty much screwed here.
Yep, and his Blink was on cooldown as well, so he dies twice. Sonic Wave comes on to crit, so he's not going to be able to get anything. I think he tried to relocate, and did he get forced to move back by the Sonic Wave? Whatever the case, crit's dead too. And now Moon Meander on the prowl for these last 2 kills. Jerax gets the Hex. And he goes down.
Those are great Serpent Words by Moon Meander just trapping Arteezy, and really clean play by Bryle, because instead of helping them kill the Wraith King, he actually looked for the IO on the side so that Wraith King wouldn't get relocated out, right? So he just blinked in, orchided him, and finished him off.
Though that is a big testament to the state of the game that they don't need Queen of Pain to kill off the Wraith King, where he's like, yeah, go find off the auxiliary heroes instead. We got Wraith King under control.
You are getting hit by a Morphling. You're very sad if you're fighting versus a Morphling late game as a Wraith King. Just carry to carry, not even close.
And now he definitely doesn't have buyback because he's died back-to-back. Roar directly, no Lotus Orb. Timbersaw is dead, and this game, oh boy, it's game number 5. I have a plane to catch, TSM FTX, but I love quality Dota. We got your wish, Effie.
May I just pat myself on the back?
Of course you may.
At the start of the day, what did I say?
You said 8
I
games.
said we're going to see full 8 games today.
Abed's trying his best to make it not a reality, but you can only do so much as a Storm Spirit who's 12k down, and Tomato having a chuckle, having a good old chuckle.
Hey, we were talking about how they needed to mentally reset.
Yeah, that was a great recovery.
Seems like they had no issues doing that.
Yeah, I love what both teams did in this game in terms of strategy. TSM out-executed them, but you know, the